there's been a lot of information that's come through, and also photos.
Yeah.
Photos of just the grass where the tree was. Just the unsightly hole left behind by the loss of the tree. That's going on all over the city?
All over the city, yeah. I mean, as we said in the first segment, there were about 1,600 trees down, and each one of those, leaves behind it a spot of ground that's just being soaked in sunlight. Jen's fond of the fact that 2 trees provide enough oxygen for a family of 4. As long as those trees are alive, a family of 4 can breathe the oxygen on those 2 trees. So if we're down 1,600 trees, that means 6,400 people.
Are gasping for breath, hoping.
For breath. Well, yeah, but I just feel like as stewards of our community, it's incumbent on us to make sure that we're providing, what we take away, especially something that has, tangible, real benefits to.
So it's beyond just the beautification of the city of Yorkville. It's really, as far as beautification, is really changing Yorkville. I would think that the entire environment will be hotter. It will be a hotter city without the shade of those trees.
Yeah.
That'll be another news story for another day.
Yeah.
But I truly believe that if you don't have that shade, it is going to continue to be hotter summers for the city and maybe colder winters as well. But it's beyond beautification, and your group is working a lot on education.
Yes, besides losing the beautiful trees and the resources such as shade, and the natural resources that the wood provides from a good, rightfully harvested tree and replanted. Did you know that actually it filters the water? Our water in the area is cleaner because of those trees. The water leaches through the roots, and it filters it and gets all the pollutants out.
So the things that we don't want, the trees can actually use as building blocks, and they will also clean out any impurities and
with all the water running to the Fox River, and we're finally getting the Fox River nice and clean, or cleaner than it has been. We need those resources there to help with that, and that water gets into our water system, and we drink that water.
Yeah, and not only that, but habitat as well. Birds, squirrels, chipmunks. Humans aren't the only ones who enjoy trees. A lot of animals rely on trees. And if they don't have the trees to go into, they're out running across the road and getting hit by semi-trucks and SUVs, So we need a place for those animals to go.
You need that habitat.
Yeah, that's right.
For those trees. This is... it doesn't, it takes a few years for a tree to grow back.
Yeah.
And they start as little things.
Yeah, they sure do.
It's going to take a while for that shade to come back, for the habitat to come back, and everything else. So what is the plan? What is I Speak for the Trees trying to accomplish here?
I Speak for the Trees is trying to work with the government, work with the city of Yorkville to buy a bunch of trees. We're going to have a raffle after the funds have all been raised and the trees have been bought, where homeowners, a lot of homeowners have been affected by ash borer as well, and they don't have any choice over whether that tree comes down or not. If the city comes through and says you're infected, that tree has to come out, and so we're going to have there's a raffle component to make sure that homeowners have a chance to replace their trees as well. And we, so far Brian DeBolt of the school district has gotten on board. He's going to help us find and procure as many trees as we can for the dollar. Four Seasons Landscaping in Yorkville's gotten on board. They're going to help us get a bunch of trees. That's the plan. It's just to get people who have knowledge and have resources to come together with us on this, and we can present them hopefully with enough money to make magic happen here. Get those trees back in the ground.
Nate, Rob was saying that there's jars in restaurants and businesses. You've got your Facebook page we talked about and the website where you can learn more, but you're doing a lot of education efforts. But as far as putting that message out in front of people, are there other things that your group is doing?
Anything we can. We're doing things like coming on the show here and speaking about it. anyone that'll listen, we're happy to talk about it.
How long has this organization been working?
I don't know how long it's been right
About a
now.
month.
Yeah,
so
it's pretty
your
new.
brand spanking new, and you've got some key players that are jumping on board, and some businesses.
The community is very excited about it, and I'd like to remind everyone that you can find these donation jars at local businesses. If you see them, I speak for the trees. Put your pocket full of change in, or a couple bucks. It'll help buy some trees and get some more shade in the city and natural resources.
And another thing that private citizens can do that I don't think we've hit on yet is you can join the Arbor Day Foundation. The Arbor Day Foundation, it's $10 to join, and they supply you with a dozen trees, I believe, saplings that you can put into your own yard.
So you could just join them, and they'll send you trees.
And they'll send you trees through the mail. Yeah, hardy saplings that you can plant. So that's another route that people can do, but. We just need people buying trees, and we need trees getting into the ground. So,
do you have a timeline for this?
Well, we have fundraising efforts going through November, and so I'm not entirely that's yet to be determined. I guess we have to hammer all that out.
So planting would probably, if you're able to do anything, would probably happen next spring and going on from there.
Right.
What about the city council? What about those people in the government of the city of Yorkville? What are they saying to you when, because I know that Yorkville has found themselves in this uncomfortable position before, where they've been behind the 8 ball, and groups have come forward and said, we want to see safe bike routes, and now we want to see more trees, and so because of the nature of the city, the sprawling city of Yorkville, and the economics that we're living under, and other things, the city has found themselves in a hard place before. How are they responding to this new pop-up group that says, hey, wait a minute, we want our trees back? What are they saying to you?
They've been very positive, I feel like. Anytime that I think private citizens come with an idea and some sort of organization and marshal resources, I feel like municipal leaders like to see that in their own city. If nothing else, it kind of gives them I think something they can be proud of, the fact that they represent a city where residents are active and involved. Yeah,
I love that attitude, Rob. That is the way we should all feel, like we need to get involved.
Right, exactly.
It's easy to support something that's fully, it's the community. It's not costing the government anything. It would be fantastic if they'd chip in, but it's the community's just coming together to get some resources. It doesn't have to be trees just through this foundation. Just plant some trees.
So right now this is an effort that is, the people that love trees. Hopefully we all love trees, but you're asking the citizens to come forward and help plant their own trees, and then also help you plant trees.
Exactly.
You're not asking for the city you're not asking them to change their budget or anything.
No, not specifically, although if they would like to, that would be just fine. But, in that respect, it's hard for anyone to not really support the project.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's true. You got to get behind clean water and clean air and lots of it, right?
Yeah,
those are just wonderful things for our community.
Amen.
Rob, you were telling me before the show that some of the other communities in the Fox River Valley have been more proactive than Yorkville and really stepped forward on this.
Well, Plano, I know. I covered Plano for WSPY. They passed an ordinance back in June that was carefully crafted with the help of people at the Morton Arboretum, who, of course, are the tree experts of our area. And Plano has a plan now to not only take out infected trees, but to replace them in a way that more or less guarantees that we don't have these kinds of problems again in the future, where huge swaths of trees are just up and pulled out of the ground.
So they're looking at some diversity in the species of trees that they plant.
Correct.
In the city of Plano.
Yep, that's exactly right. And just and part of the ordinance is more regular inspections of tree health and everything, just to keep abreast of the health and of the trees in town. So that's going to allow Plano to be much more hands-on and like head forward, you know, to be able to take care of problems as they come up and hopefully minimize the impact of these types of situations as they come up again.
Yeah, that's good. You know, to be kind of forward thinking as opposed to being caught in a situation that's
to
negative.
being reactive.
Sometimes, you know, stuff just happens, but if we can get ahead of it and know that we've got a good plan for the future.
Right, exactly. Like the city of Yorkville, I don't believe, you know, I mean, we knew this was coming with the widening of the highway in Yorkville, but I don't know that the city itself had a plan for dealing with the trees. I think there was a lot of thought that it would be the state's responsibility, and you know, nobody really knew who was going to pick this up. And now here's a citizens, you know, organization. I mean, one way or the other, it was going to be our tax dollars anyway. But you know, here we are, the ones who actually live in the community, the ones who benefit from the presence of trees, kind of taking the bull by the horns.
Well, you know, and I can't help but think that's a great thing. You know, really, we spend too much time in our existence relying on someone else to solve our problems and saying, well, the state will handle this for me. You know, that's just not the good way to look at the world. We need to be in charge of our own destiny, and we need to be stepping up and being active citizens in the process. So this is really an exciting thing that I'm so glad to have you here and have you here you know, as you're just starting to run.
Just starting, yeah.
You know, and
like I say, about a month old at this point, and you know, we know that we want to buy trees. Getting them into the ground and whatnot is going to be a more complicated matter, but we've got good people stepping forward already with, you know, offers of help and offers of support. You know, the tree businesses, landscaping companies around Yorkville, and this, you know, the school district is on board. So, you know, once we get to where we need to get the trees in the ground, I don't think it's going to be very hard to find. You know, even if we have to go to the citizens and get some of our buddies out and whatnot to help us put them in the ground,
get your spades out and shovels and start digging. But I think that it's really it's a wonderful thing that you're doing, and just the fact that you're spending so much effort on the educational aspect of it, and also that you're inviting people to take the matter into their own hands. You know, you can find out more information at ispeakforthetrees.org, or you can go to the Arbor Day Foundation. As you said, you can go to the Morton Arboretum and learn more about trees in this area, and use some thought into what you want to plant in your yard. They all take our carbon dioxide. They all make oxygen. Let's take advantage of that. And you can beautify your own lawn with your own type of tree. I also like the fact that you said that the raffle prizes are going to be trees. Well, you know,
what would you expect?
I think that's you're keeping your focus.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
And staying focused. It's an exciting thing to see.
Yeah, it's nice to be a part of something that doesn't have you know, an alternative agenda or anything. You know, I mean, it's very straightforward. Trees are missing. We need to plant trees, and that's what, you know, all efforts towards that end.
I want to thank both of you for being here. We only have about a minute or so left in the show before we go, and so I'm going to ask Nate, any last words?
Thank you. Well, if any viewers would like their local business or if they would like to donate to I Speak for the Trees, please visit the website at ispeakforthetrees.org. We'd be glad to have you on board and plant some trees.
And if we want to put out a little mason jar for some donations, we can find information on the web on how to do that and where to get the money.
And we'll get one of those out there.
Okay, so you'll get it out to us, and you'll be able to come back. You'll come back, and we won't have to worry about it at all. You'll be able to.
If there's any questions about trees or the project, happy to answer them.
Very, very good. I'm glad you came. This is so exciting to have you here. And I'm glad we had them here today. It's just great to be part of the initiative to get something going as soon as possible. So I do want to also thank Jen Slapika for all her efforts in the city of Yorkville. And, you know, what happens in one community in Kendall County affects all of us, and so we just want to help everybody wherever you live. This is a project that you can embrace. ispeakforthetrees.org. You can also find them on Facebook, and I want to thank Nate DeMont and Rob Greider for being here, and thank you, and we'll see you next time on Fox Valley Today.
Thanks, Barb.